Today is an absolutely huge day. Something has just happened which I don't think anybody ever expected to experience. However, Hytale, which is a game that was announced over 10 years ago now, is finally coming out. Now, just for a little bit of backstory lore before I get into the spaghetti and meatballs of this whole situation, Hytale is a sandbox game kind of similar to Minecraft, which is being made by Hypixel. And just in case the beautiful name Hypixel doesn't ring a bell, they are pretty much the biggest Minecraft server on the planet. So them announcing that they're going to be making their own sandbox game similar to Minecraft is just enormous. It was such a cool and refreshing idea. Yeah, sure, it's similar to Minecraft and some people may even call it a knockoff. However, Hypixel have so much experience in this realm of making sandbox games that there was pretty much no world where the game was going to fail. And they made an official announcement trailer back in December of 2018, and this bad boy got 31 million views in the first month of the announcement. They were averaging 1 million views on the trailer every single day. Now fast forward 6 or 7 years since then, it's not funny, don't you dare say it is actually 6 or 7 years. It seems like the game might actually be coming to life. However, that most definitely doesn't mean that they had their issues along the way, because unfortunately back in June of this year, which was only 5 months ago now, it was actually announced that Hytale was going to be no, they sold it off to Riot Games and it was going to be whoop-de-doo off in the trash can, and Riot might kind of work on it and someday it may get some sort of release. However, understandably, the original creators of Hytale realized this was a big mistake and they actually wanted to make this game come to life, and somehow they've actually saved it. We are thrilled to announce that we have acquired Hytale from Riot Games. While it didn't make sense for them to continue developing it in its existing form, they ultimately wanted the best for players, and that's for us to eventually play a revised version of the game. We're grateful to Riot Games for making this possible. Over the past few weeks, we have rehired more than 30 developers who know the game inside and out, with additional returns expected in the coming days. Together, we're going back to the original version of Hytale. We're fully independent and personal, committed to funding Hytale for the next 10 years. I am so hyped, and it's not just me that's excited for this too. They released their Discord server like 2 days ago now. It's got 150,000 members already. This game is massive. I don't want to say it's on the same scale as GTA 6 because it's not. I'll tell you right now, for the community who's interested in it, it's just as exciting. It is so incredibly awesome. Like, if I had to describe this game in a couple words, it's just Minecraft on steroids. There is so much to do in there. It is absurd. And after a couple years of their Twitter account being dormant, they came out with one of the coldest posts ever. Hytale is saved. This bad boy got 3.6 million views and is currently sat at 41,000 likes. And the main man who's working on this goes by the name of Simon, and he gave a massive thanks to Riot Games for just helping them acquire the game back. And although I know a lot of people aren't massive fans of Riot Games because of the Valorant, Ekins, ooh kind of world out there, you have to respect the fact that they know the world of gaming, and they know that if they have to give up a game to make something epic, they are more than happy to do that. However, something I do really want to pay a lot of attention to is something that Simon has said here. Real talk, Hytale isn't a polished AAA release waiting in the wings. It's messy, it's janky, and there's a lot of work to be done. My plan, get out to you as soon as possible. No more waiting, you'll get to play it rough edges and all. It won't be perfect on day one. My hopes is that together we'll shape it into something truly special. I love this. I think a lot of kind of gaming studios nowadays, they're a bit scared to release a game which isn't completely ready. Yes, people like to go out there and argue against GTA 6, just let Rockstar do their thing. I don't even want to get involved in that discussion at the moment. However, when we're looking at sandbox games like Hytale, having the community form the future of the game is such a beautiful thing, because not only do you get your own individual experience on that sandbox game, you also get the community feeling as well, and I just can't wait to see the direction that this game goes into. And honestly, you're probably thinking this can't get any better, but guess what? The price for this game is just magnificent. Base price, $20. That's insane in the modern world of prices. You look at modern games, yeah, sure, this isn't a AAA game, but $20? Most games nowadays are 40 to 80. The fact that they've gone back to the standard prices of games is just such a wonderful thing. Yes, there'll probably be in-game purchases, but that's the exact same for every other game that's coming out nowadays. If we look at Black Ops 7, for example, yes, I know these two aren't on the direct same scales, but Black Ops 7 is like $80 base price, and they're still charging people for an absurd amount of COD points. Hytale's $20. That's a one-time payment. You'd have to do a monthly thing or anything like that. You don't even have to buy the in-game stuff, and that's it. You can play it, you can mod it, you can go absolutely bananas on it. And since their new announcement, they've also released 16 minutes of gameplay, and I'll tell you right now, the game looks so incredibly smooth. I know when they release it, there's probably going to be some bugs and issues, but honestly, just looking at this gameplay, it just looks so incredibly satisfying. I know it looks like Minecraft. Yes, I get that. It is kind of influenced by Minecraft, evidently, but as I mentioned earlier, it's Minecraft on steroids, and I am so hyped to play it. Something I'm kind of hoping for is, I know Terraria has a really big kind of adventurous element to it. I'm hoping Hytale has taken a bit of influence from that as well, because evidently with Minecraft, the game gets boring after 2 weeks. Once you've killed the Ender Dragon, that's basically it for your survival world. However, with Hytale, I'm expecting something really quite different. No Fortnite Lego kind of BS. I'm expecting a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, which I can bite into and just enjoy so much. None of this sloppy bologna meatball sandwich. I really am looking forward to this game so much. Something else which I really do like, and although I personally won't entail down this path too much, they really are focusing on modders and developers as well in themselves. Like with Minecraft, yeah, sure, you can create mods and texture packs, but it's really quite an advanced system and beginners can't really wiggle their fingers around in that realm. However, with Hytale, they want literally everybody to mod their games. Obviously, it's going to be a base game and that will be more than playable, it will be just as enjoyable. But if perhaps you see something you're like, you know what, I'd really like to ride that mod, for example, they will literally show you how to mod the game to do that. Right, here's a perfect example. You can't usually ride this dinosaur looking as being, I don't even know what to describe that as. However, you can mod it so you can do that. And I absolutely love that because it brings the sandbox element to the sandbox game, which I find to be so fantastic. And just in case you are super interested in modding and anything else in that realm, Hytale's decided that they don't want to be taking any claims from any modders for the first 2 years of the game being out. So if you mod something really badass and you get a bunch of downloads, you make some money from it, it's all yours. If you set up a server, they're not taking any cut from it. It is completely 100% free of fees, which is just awesome. I know a lot of big Minecraft servers right now are definitely going to be working on Hytale quite a bit because this game at the moment almost feels like it has infinite potential. I really am praying that it meets everybody's expectations, because if it fails to do so, it's going to be quite disappointing. However, at the same time, someone's going out there saying, guys, don't expect some sort of grand gold prize or a massive trophy with diamonds and rubies sat in it. The game will be bad when it comes out, but we're going to work on it. And I think that's really quite beautiful. And something else which I just cannot ignore. When I came across this tweet this morning, a tear almost rolled down my leg. I received Technoblade's father's blessing to add something in Hytale that represents Technoblade's memory. I want the community involved in this. Please share your ideas for what you would feel like a meaningful tribute. He was a big part of our journey with Hypixel, and I wish him to be part of this one as well. I can't believe it. I mean, what a huge day. He also dropped a little bit of lore about Technoblade as well, about how he wanted to work with their marketing team back in 2015, which is over 10 years ago now. So Technoblade really has been around the scene for quite some time, and honestly, he's never gonna die, right? As of right now, this is a bit of concept art which really seems to be doing quite well. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw this in the game. And something that I didn't notice the first time looking at it, someone else actually pointed out to me, is if you look at the handle, it has got a pig's head on it. It is so badass. I'd love to see something like this in the game. I think a sword is just perfectly fitting for Technoblade. Perhaps something a little bit more obvious than it is for him, because honestly, when I first looked at this, I thought, that's a cool blade, but what relation does it have to Technoblade? And then someone pointed out the actual handle, and I was like, that is badass. But yeah, for the time being, I really want to pay a lot of attention to this tweet from Simon, because he gets into the nook and crannies about how the game isn't ready yet. You guys really shouldn't expect the game to be in top-notch condition, because they are absolutely going to be working on it as we play it. And to be honest, I think it's a really great way of developing a game, because it allows them to actually give the community what they want. Like nowadays, a lot of games, especially like Black Ops 7, for example, I hate that. It's basically just those platforms going out there saying, this is a game, yep, eat that slop, take it, good boy. There you go. You're being well behaved, aren't you? You're going to eat the shit that we feed you. However, Hytale right here, they're going out there and they're saying, no, we're not going to do any of that. We want to make sure that the audience and community are happy. And I just find that so commemorable. Yeah, man, I just had to talk about this. 10 years in the making is huge. And the fact that we're finally going to be seeing it in such a short amount of time, I mean, man, what a great day for the unemployed. And if you have a job, it's time to quit so you can play some Hytale. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.